They didn't call it an execution. They called it a survey deployment, a classified expedition to a planet long deemed dead and irrelevant. No one argued. No one even raised an eyebrow. Everyone knew what that meant. They were sending her to die. Her name was Kale. Former sergeant. Decorated twice, court-martialed once. Her only crime was disobedience, refusing to carry out an order that would have killed civilians. The brass didn't appreciate that kind of conscience. And so, with a straight face and a signature on a datapad, they sent her away. No ceremony. No briefing. No goodbyes. Just a shuttle and silence. She watched Earth shrink in the viewport until it became a dim light in the void. Her destination, Theta 9. No atmosphere. No water. Temperatures cold enough to freeze steel. A rock so desolate it wasn't even on most star charts anymore. She landed hard. The pod's thrusters misfired, skidded into a crevice and smashed sideways into ice-coated stone. She crawled out with cracked ribs, bleeding from her head, and barely conscious. The wind screamed like something alive. Sand and snow mixed in the air, gritty and sharp. There was no sun, just a pale, flickering sky and jagged black rock stretching for miles. Everything was dead, cold, silent. They had given her 1 week of rations, a half-broken rifle, no medkit, and a small AI drone that didn't even power on. She should have died. But Kale didn't know how to die quietly. She dragged pieces of the pod to form a shelter, buried herself beneath it when the storms came. She scavenged, reinforced the hull, built a crude filtration unit to melt and clean ice. She learned the terrain, its ridges, shadows, caves. And then she began to hear them. Scratching. Clicking. At first, she thought it was wind, maybe hallucinations. But on the 13th night, one of them tried to crawl into her shelter. It had no eyes, pale skin, too many legs. Its breath came in wheezes, and it moved like it had bones in the wrong places. When it lunged, she shot it twice in the chest. It didn't die. She jammed the rifle barrel into its mouth and pulled the trigger again. That was the first one. They came more often after that. She set traps, wired the shelter with metal shards and broken glass. She crafted spears from the landing gear, dug pits and lined them with jagged rock. The second month was war. She slept in shifts, always with her back to the wall, fingers on the trigger. Some nights she'd wake up with one of them inches away, staring, breathing, waiting. They tested her, watched her traps. They were learning. And so was she. By the third month, she had mapped 2 kilometers around her base. She knew their tunnels, their patterns, how they communicated in hisses and thumps. She learned to strike first, fast and brutal, kill and vanish. She counted each one. Kill 7, ambushed in the crevice. Kill 12, tried to drag her into the ground. Kill 19, she used herself as bait. Every time she killed one, she etched a mark into the side of the shelter. At first with her knife, then with their claws. They were smart, but not human. And that was their mistake. Kale began to upgrade her gear. She made armor from scavenged metal, a heat generator using geothermal vents, reinforced the shelter until it was a bunker. Then she built a signal tower. But she didn't call for rescue. She wanted them to come. Not the creatures, The Council. Earth. The same people who sent her to die. She wanted them to see what she had become. In the 6th month, the aliens stopped coming in small waves. They attacked in force, 8, 10, sometimes more. They had weapons now. Crude, but effective. They mimicked her traps. Surrounded her position. She lost hearing in one ear. 3 fingers on her left hand. But she didn't fall. One night, during the worst storm yet, they tried to burn her out. Poured a chemical down a tunnel she hadn't secured. Fire spread fast. Smoke and heat collapsed her lungs. She barely made it out, coughing and crawling into the snow, rifle in hand. She stood there, in the open, shaking from cold and blood loss, while the creatures emerged from the smoke, dozens of them. And she screamed. Not in fear, but in rage. Fury. She charged. When it was over, 16 more lay dead. She built a pyre from their bodies. The kill count etched in the shelter now read 214. 2 days later, the sky changed. A light pierced through the haze. A drone, small, silver, Terran-made, descended silently. It scanned the base. Recorded the symbols. The bones. The flag Kale had made from uniform patches and bloodied cloth. Then it locked onto her. She stared directly into its lens. Bruised. Worn. Hair ragged. Eyes hollow and alive with fire. And for the first time in 6 months, Kale spoke. "Tell them I'm still here." The drone blinked. Then rose. She watched it disappear into the clouds. She didn't care what Earth did next. She'd already claimed the planet.